Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name's Tim Oldham and I'm the CEO and Managing Director of Adalta Limited. Adalta is an Australian listed drug discovery and development company using our novel iBody platform to develop next generation protein therapeutics against challenging drug targets. There are four features of our company that I will discuss with you today. The first is our patented iBody platform, which gives us the opportunity to create multiple drug assets. The second, I will talk about our lead internal asset, AD214, which is a first-in-class clinical stage antifibrotic. This has clinically validated our platform and demonstrated our ability to bring drugs from discovery all the way through to the clinic. The third feature I'll discuss today is our lead external asset, being developed in collaboration with GE Healthcare and providing commercial validation of our platform. This is an iBody-enabled Granzyme B PET imaging agent for use in immuno-oncology. And finally, I'd like to leave you with our growth strategy, building on the platform, our internal asset capability, our external asset capability to add value through multiple pipeline assets, adding value to AD214, adding additional internal pipeline assets, and adding external pipeline assets through additional collaborations. This unique combinations of features provides unique opportunities for our partners. For product partners, there are opportunities to license our internal pipeline, starting with AD214. For partners for our platform, there are opportunities to co-develop solutions to some of your most challenging drug target problems. And for investors, we offer an opportunity to acquire a validated platform at what essentially today is a single product price. So let me turn to our iBody platform. iBodies have been specifically designed to drug challenging drug targets. They were developed through basic research into single domain antibodies, and specifically the Shark single domain antibodies. But our invention was to fully humanize these, overlaying them with a human scaffold. So our iBodies are the first fully human single domain scaffold. They are the first off the Shark motif to enter clinical trials. And we've demonstrated the ability to hit multiple targets through over 25 different target types that we've managed to hit today. iBodies create significant advantages over traditional antibodies, ranging from the ability to access unique epitopes, deliver tunable and biased pharmacology by binding deep into binding pockets and regions. They're able to be half-life extended and delivered through multiple routes of administration. Their stability enables them to be participants in conjugation reactions for antibody drug conjugates, and they are amenable to bacterial and yeast cell manufacturing. So let me now turn to our lead asset, AD214. AD214 is a first-in-class antifibrotic. It targets the receptor CXCR4, which is now known to be a critical player in the development of fibrosis in many organs. You can see here the significant increase in brown staining in fibrotic lung tissue as a result of upregulation of CXCR4. Now, we've designed AD214 specifically for fibrosis. It is highly specific to CXCR4. It delivers novel pharmacology in the sense that it does not mobilize stem cells, which most other CXCR4 antagonists do. And it's protected by granted patents that expire in 2036. It's the only CXCR4 antagonist being developed for fibrosis. It has the potential for multiple fibrotic and cancer indications, and we have preclinical animal data in multiple organs, including eye, kidney, liver, and cancer. Our preclinical work culminated in the demonstration of efficacy in the gold standard model of idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, the bleomycin mouse model. And you can see here the significant changes on the bottom row between normal lung tissue and fibrotic lung tissue, and the impact that treatment with AD214 has in the top image, reverting or preventing the deterioration of lung tissue under the action of bleomycin. This was a statistically significant improvement over untreated controls at a range of doses. Now, we've chosen IPF as the lead indication for 8214, primarily because, or partly because of the excellent model that it represents to demonstrate antifibrotic activity, but also because of the extremely high unmet need. This is a $3 billion market today for the 300,000 plus people living around the world with IPF. These people are facing a poor prognosis. This is a degenerative disease, and many will not survive beyond 4 years from diagnosis. The existing treatments have significant safety and efficacy limitations, and many patients do not continue with therapy beyond the first year. So there's a significant unmet need in IPF. But in addition, we also know that the burden of fibrotic lung diseases following the current COVID-19 pandemic is likely to be high, and antifibrotic therapies may have an additional place to play in dealing with these side effects. So 8214 is a clinical stage product. We've just commenced our phase 1 program. Our pre-IND meeting with the FDA concluded that the preclinical studies we had presented were generally sufficient to support an IND, and that the phase 1 trial design was reasonable. We are conducting this trial in Australia. It's currently a 3-part trial design, commencing a single dose in healthy volunteers, which is underway right now, and followed by single and multi-dose studies in patients. And this is important because CXCR4 is only upregulated substantially in the lungs of patients, and therefore we're only going to obtain limited information from the single dose studies. Now, we're developing a radio-labeled version of 8214 to enable these patient studies, and this will enable us to demonstrate distribution and time on target of 8214 in the lungs of these patients. As of the end of September, we've enrolled 20 subjects at 4 of the 7 planned dose levels. We are into the potential therapeutic window with no dose-limiting adverse events observed. And this is entirely consistent with what we observed in the non-human primate toxicology studies. Post the end of the phase 1 studies in 8214 through 2021, multiple options will open up for us. Firstly, on the commercial side, we have early partnering options, and there have been a number of deals, 3 of which are outlined here, conducted at a very early stage in IPF alone, and even more deals at early stages in other fibrotic indications. With a novel mode of action that's expected to be particularly attractive to pharmaceutical partners, we expect the first partnering window to open for 8214 towards the end of phase 1 at the end of 2021. But in addition to that, the 8214 asset has multiple indication extension options. There are other fibrotic indications beyond idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis and interstitial lung diseases. Metastatic cancer and combination therapies with immuno-oncology is showing significant promise. We have animal data in hand for 5 additional indications, and each of these individual markets is worth a further $2 to $15 billion each. Turning now to our external pipeline, as exemplified by our collaboration with GE Healthcare. These collaborations bring Adalta's iBody platform with, in this case, GE's target, which was Granzyme B. Adalta undertakes discovery and then hands over development and commercialization to our partner. Granzyme B is an interesting target. It addresses the $100 billion immuno-oncology market, and particularly the problem of only 30% of patients actively responding. Given Granzyme B is known to be a biomarker of response to immunotherapies, PET imaging Granzyme B could significantly improve therapy selection and hence outcome for patients. As of the end of September, we've identified a panel of iBodies, and GE have agreed on exercise their option for us to proceed to lead optimization. We've earned over $1 million Australian in milestones and research fees to date. Further milestones and royalties will be earned on the development and commercialization success of the PET imaging agents for Granzyme B. So I've now exemplified the 2 parts to our strategy. Adalta's mission in life is to use our iBody technology platform and libraries to develop multiple iBody drugs and diagnostics against particularly challenging drug targets. We have proof of principle against over 25 targets today. The first way we'll monetize this platform is through the development of our in-house pipeline of drug candidates, which will usually be GPCRs, G protein coupled receptors, targeting fibrosis, inflammation, and oncology. And we'll typically invest in these through early clinical studies before licensing to pharma, as we're planning to do with AD214. The second way we'll generate revenue from our platform is through collaboration agreements or co-development agreements, such as we have with GE Healthcare. In this case, the partner will lead target selection and development, and Adalta will contribute discovery using our iBody technology. We'll earn lower research fees and milestones, of course, but these are additional products in our pipeline at essentially no financial risk. Our aspiration is to develop a true platform company. Ablinks is probably the poster child in the single domain antibody space ahead of us, and this is what they were able to achieve over a 10-year period. Their strategy is very similar in 2007 when they first listed and got their first product into the clinic. Is very similar to ours. Leverage the platform, drive a lead candidate through clinical development, partner to maximize the opportunity, and continue to invest in the underlying technology platform and IP. So Adalta today is at the point where Ablinks was at their IPO. Our first product has reached the clinic, and our opportunity is now to use this first in clinic activity as a catalyst for accelerating our pipeline. We've just completed an $8 million placement and rights issue in order to fund that acceleration. And through 2021, we'll start to see the benefits of that. We expect to progress AD214 in idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis through the back end of its phase 1 clinical program and continue and select the second indications with additional preclinical product development work happening in that period. We also expect to add an additional 2 targets into our internal pipeline. We will progress the Granzyme B collaboration with GE, and we expect to add an additional external collaboration partnership in 2021 as well. And by 2023, we expect that to be a pipeline of 5 internal pipeline candidates and 3 to 5 external partnerships. Delivering this growth is a highly industry experienced leadership team and advisors. Virtually all of the organisation has large biotech or biopharma experience, including the development of GPCR platform companies, e.g. Robert Peach, founder of Receptos, and with extensive experience in product development, clinical development, both on the advisory board, and executive team. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are an ASX listed company. Our current market capitalisation as at the 11th of September was around 25 million Australian dollars, and we have $11 million of cash by the time you include our 30 June cash balance and the recently completed placement and rights issue. We've got a very loyal supporter base. Our $8 million raise recently was supported 2/3 to 3/4 from our existing shareholder base, and around about 40% of our shareholders are institutions today. So in closing, we think Adalta represents a very attractive investment proposition and a very attractive partnering proposition. Our patented iBody platform gives the opportunity for multiple asset creation against difficult targets. It's been clinically validated with our first-in-class asset for fibrosis, AD214, an important and valuable asset in its own right with significant growth potential. The platform has been commercially validated through our collaboration with GE Healthcare, and we have a clear vision for growing our business and our pipeline and adding more assets simply by repeating what we've been able to do in the past with AD214 and with GE. So we'll expand our internal pipeline with very clear focus on indications and targets. We'll expand our external pipeline through collaborations where partners will be able to bring us a much more diverse range of targets and target biology. And we're continuing to invest in our platform. We've got an experienced drug development and discovery team driving the strategic focus, and we are really a unique investment opportunity with a validated platform, a cash runway, and readiness to realise the significant expansion potential in front of us. We welcome both new commercial and strategic partners as well as new investors to our company. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to questions you may have. You may contact me at the details on this screen.